Hello, 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 everyone out there in land. This is your host, Lizzabitty. And today, we have an interview with BluePhire. Okay? So before we get started, some housekeeping rules here, all right? So please comment, like, engage, and subscribe. If you can share the video in your YouTube community tab, please do so. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my guest. Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are
Let me
you?
adjust my camera for a second.
Can you turn your volume up a little bit? You sound a little low.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that better?
Okay.
Okay.
A little better. So welcome to the Lizzabitty channel. And I was just saying what the topic was going to be about, but before we get started, I want you to go ahead and introduce us and tell us who BluePhire is.
I go by the name BluePhire. I'm a technologist. I work in the IT field and avid traveler, I'd say.
Okay. And your native land is Jamaica, yes?
That's correct. Born and raised here before migrating to the U.S.
Okay, so let's jump right into the interview. So our first question that we have for you is, can you tell us which African countries you have visited?
So I visited Ghana twice, visited Ethiopia twice, Kenya twice, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa.
So I see some repeats from countries. Why the repeats to those countries? Did you like it that much or what?
I'd say yes. Ethiopia was my first one to visit, and my intention was to see what that country was about and also make it to Shashamani. But I didn't make it there because the night before I kind of partied too much and wasn't up to it the next day. So that window passed by. But I did go back because the first time I went there, the experience wasn't what I was expecting. And I felt like I needed to go back and see and revisited some of those places that I went or dealt with things a little differently from what I learned from before.
Did you visit Ethiopia first because it's the only country that it has never been colonized? What made you pick Ethiopia first?
A few things, proximity from Dubai. It was a short flight time. Logistically, that was one of the reasons at the time. But also the history, Haile Selassie. I just wanted to see, and the people are a lot different from the rest of the continent. Like people from Ethiopia and Eritrea are a lot different from the rest of the continent. Like you said, they weren't colonized, but I know they have some Italian influence. So
okay. I just wondered, just because I know sometimes people that do visit Ethiopia as a first time, that's typically what they say, as well as the Jamaican presence there. And you being Jamaican, I figured that was a point of, so anyway. So which of these African nations that you visited do you identify most with your Jamaican heritage?
Definitely Ghana. Ghana. From the moment I got there, I realized, one, the atmosphere, temperature seems pretty tropical, and it's not a landlocked country, so you have beaches. There's lots of, if you love land or sea, you have both. Some of the foods, you have access to very natural foods that are similar to Jamaica. Some of the places I went to, I saw a lot of Jamaican flags. So I feel like I was walking through Montego Bay or some of the other more urban places in Jamaica.
Well, it's interesting now but you went to Ethiopia twice. You didn't get that feeling there as well, or no? I'm just asking.
No.
I'm not being biased, but I'm just asking.
No, I didn't get that feeling there, and probably because I didn't go to Shashamani. What I've heard from about Shashamani is like there's a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Caribbean people that live in that region. Once you go there, then you feel like you're home. But outside of that, you don't get that feeling.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so as a Jamaican, can you get more deep into what it's like experiencing Alkebulan for the first time? All of those initial feelings that one feels when they step off the airplane, they've never been on the continent. Before you, that you get all of that good stuff.
For me, it was like, wow, I'm finally here. This is what it feels like. I mean, it was a sense of pride because it's something you've always heard about. You hear the reggae artists sing about it in the songs, and people that have gone before say you gotta go, or some people say, "Oh, I'll never go," depending on who you talk to, because they don't have anything there. Which some of the folks I talked to when I went there, they're like, "Why do you want to go to Africa?" I'm like, "Why not?" So for me, it was more so because of where I'm coming from. It was more so a personal aspiration to want to go there and see for myself what it was like, see whether it was hype or not, just to see the motherland and why it is the way it is. Some of the things I did notice is like any other colonized nation in the Caribbean or wherever, they seem to cater to Europeans more than their own, right? And I did notice that in Ghana, the Europeans that go there, they take liberties that the locals wouldn't even take. And when I would ask the locals, "Hey, what's that about?" Or could you, as a local here, do the same thing that that person is doing? And they'd say, "No." I said, "Why not? This is your country." And they'd look at me like I'm crazy because I'm asking these questions. But it's all a matter of perspective at the end of the day.
It is a matter of perspective, and to every Jamaican I've ever encountered, they are they have strong personalities about being Jamaican. So I felt when you were having this discussion with one, being a Jamaican, how that was actually going around in your head, trying to work that out.
I'd
You know,
say I'd say a part of why I was asking the questions is because, well, I would say when you live in a situation, you don't realize what it really is until you step outside of that situation. You can look from it outside. So living in Jamaica growing up, I probably had some of the same thoughts as their locals would. But coming outside of that, living in the US and seeing a whole different perspective, gaining new experiences and, dealing with different people from all over the place, you broaden your horizon and you're able to look at things more critically. So going there with my background and seeing things, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. The dynamics change, and you start
yes,
questioning
totally,
things more.
totally,
So you have a better
totally.
vision of what you're looking at, and you can look at it more critically if that's what you're about. You know.
So you have been to South Africa. So the, the other countries are in stark contrast. So tell me about your experience there, and then we'll go back.
South Africa was just different.
I think we got a little interference coming in or something.
I think so. Let me try to fix that for a second.
It's technology, remember.
Right. So, can you still hear me?
Ooh, like really staticky.
Hold on a second. Let me see if this will be better. any better?
Yeah.
The internet usually gets really bad at this time, or sporadically.
It could be your connection. You click the link and come back in. Let's try that. Because you're swallowing our lures.
How is it now?
No.
Still bad.
It's a little bad.
Hold on a second.
Can you get back in? Exit out.
Leave the studio?
Okay.
Okay.
Difficulties here. But he is going to go out and he's going to come back in. Okay? I hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, my end. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's static on my end. Saying my feet is breaking up, but I have a strong smell. Okay, I don't hear static now.
I still hear it slightly.
Ooh. Wow, this is not going to go. What I am going to do, I think I'm going to insert a new one. I'll send you the new link because something is happening with the feed. They're saying I'm clear, but I'm breaking up, and I'm not sure why I'm. Okay, so I'm going to end it, and then I'm going to bring you back. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
So guys, we'll be right back.